right, so Gamer Tag Radio, we're back here, and we have some special guests, and we're going to be talking about Towerborne. We talked about it a couple weeks back. We got to play it at the Xbox Gamescom event here in LA. I wasn't in Germany. I'm jealous, but it's okay. So we have a special guest here. Both Can you guys introduce yourself? Let's start with Trisha.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Trisha Stoffer, and I am the CEO and president of Stoic, also #1 fan of Towerborne.
All right.
And I am McLaren, and I am the game director on Towerborn and the #2 fan.
Oh, #2 fan. All right,
Yeah,
so I'm
that's right.
#3 then, I'm guess, right?
That's right.
There you
Always
go.
got to nip at the heels of #1.
Yeah. Nah, so yeah, I heard about you guys a while back. Didn't you guys worked on Banner Saga a while back, right?
We did.
Yeah.
So Stoic was created 12 and a half years ago when John, Arnie, and Alex left BioWare they looked at the money they had and said, what game can we make with this? And started with Banner Saga. It made 3 games there.
Yeah, I mean the transition is a little different, like compared to like the Banner Saga and now with your new project, Towerborn. What was like any inspirations or what was it that you wanted to do something different compared to like your previous games?
Sure. Banner Saga, like I said, was created because they had a limited amount of money in order to make a game, and that's what they thought they could make with that. But John, Arnie, and Alex all have a long history of multiplayer games. So actually, Banner Saga was kind of more of a switch for them than Towerborn. But as they were making Banner Saga 1, 2, and 3, their families were growing, more kids involved in all of that. Banner Saga series is a single player, dark series, affectionately called a depression simulator inside the studio. And so as they were continuing, they wanted something that they could play with their friends and family and sit on the couch and play with their kids and things like that. So that was really it. And then a return back to a live game that you could. Community is very important to Stoic, and we still have a very strong community around Banner Saga. But being able to have a game where you can continue that conversation longer than just here's the box product and go play the game once, and that's been very important to us.
Yeah, I know the game is coming out early access. What are the things that your team would like to get from the community? Because from feedback about the game early access, and also how much content we're gonna get to see once this is out to the masses on Steam.
The big thing here is that Stoic has always been a studio that's engaged with its community. When we were doing Banner Saga, all of those games got kicked over to the wall to the group of players who were helping us out and participating in the Kickstarter. So it just continues the tradition. Like that's just how we've always made games. And we want the same things that we wanted out of Banner Saga. Hey, are we going in the right direction? Are you enjoying the way the game works? Are things balanced correctly? What are you doing? What are you engaging with? And that will be the focus of what we continue to not only immediately address in the short term. Oh, hey, this isn't balanced correctly, or this thing isn't working well, or this thing just isn't fun. Maybe we need to take that out or change it or update it, versus the long term. Hey, what are we continuing to build in this game? And on that, we're actually launching about 40 hours worth of content. So the entire core loop is there. You can create your character. You can go out and experience the whole world map. There's, I think, 15 plus dungeons on the world map that you can engage with. There's lieutenants, there's bosses, there's gear. So you can play and get more powerful and kill more powerful bosses. And then what we will continue to do is unleash more of that content, harder content, more advanced content, legendary items, legendary gear, all that sort of stuff.
Wow, 40 hours. That's a lot of content. A lot of content. Yeah. And now also for like Xbox gamers, the game is coming out later, or was next year, sometime next year. Are they also going to get some type of early access on the console version, or is it just going to be like okay, this is the full release based on the feedback from the PC gamers?
We'll go into game preview in the early part of 2025. Our main focus here is to get the game ready for a 1.0 launch. What is that date? I don't know, when the game is right and players are like, this is awesome and we feel great about this. We want to make
Mhm.
sure that the process of creating this type of game is done as reasonably well as possible. I mean, every time you pick up a live game, it's always that first window of time where you're like, this is very rough. And
Mhm.
so our mindset was like, we know it's going to be rough. It's a live game when you start, so why not utilize it, this early access and game preview methodology, as a way to engage with players and have them feel like, oh yeah, we actually are shaping this. We are actually making this game better. Like, I love these developers. We want to be a part of this. So
Yeah, when I was talking to my co-host, we got to play the game at the event a couple weeks back, and one thing it reminded me kind of, it has like this old school Castle Crashers type vibe. Was there any inspiration you guys that helped you to work on this game, design this game too, gameplay and all that?
time. Big time. Everybody, like, I think the majority of the people here love side-scrolling games. Everything all the way back to the old school arcade games. Simpsons certainly comes up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comes up
Oh,
all the time.
classic Streets of
Yeah, of
Rage,
course.
Streets of
Yeah,
Rage.
yeah. Streets of Rage is big. In fact, we have an
Yeah.
internal document where we talk about our inspirations. Like Streets of Rage is on there. The
Mhm.
old Vanillaware titles, Odin Sphere, Dragon's Crown, that kind of stuff's all on there.
That's cool.
So yeah, all of that stuff was a huge inspiration for us. And one of the things that's really cool is, when we looked at it, there's a lot of single player games. In fact, all of them are single player, and they're very
Mhm.
tight, short experiences. So like 9 to 12 hours. I think maybe the Vanillaware titles you could push a much further thing, but those aren't accessible to a lot of players anymore. It's not like you can just go and play Odin Sphere or Dragon's Crown on Steam anymore, or at all.
Mhm.
And really, the only living game that exists that's side-scrolling brawler is like an Eastern title. So there's nothing really in the West where we've said, "Hey, you could have a larger experience. We could continue to push the style forward. We can continue to improve on the combat, and we can do it all on the fly." And so it's just a really great opportunity to kind of address a missing spot for players.
Yeah, and speaking about those type of games too, local co-op, are we gonna get to see that console version? Is it possible to also for the PC version if somebody has like their PC connected to the TV or something like that?
Not when we release next week into early access. It won't be there.
Okay,
It is possible to do like a couch co-op on a PC.
it's a
But
lot of work though. Too heavy.
well, yeah, there's some hurdles there, but
Yeah.
I will say, yeah, when we come to game preview on Xbox, it's absolutely there, and it is fun. It's the couch co-op games are kind of few and far between, and I said I was the number one fan. McLaren claimed number two, but I'll put my husband in as 1.5 because he's put in nearly as many hours as I have because we
Nice.
did nothing but couch co-op as we were, for the last, oh my gosh, how many months has it been? 10 months or something.
Hmm.
It is fantastic, and it's just, it's it's hard to capture that feeling. It's fun to play online as well. It's fun to play, whether you're 1 to 4 players, it's super fun to play. But there's something about sitting there next to somebody. You can elbow them. You can talk about what's happening. It's fantastic. So we want to bring it wherever we can as soon as we can. But we also know that it needs to be great. Like there's nothing worse than coming in and being unsatisfied with it. So that's our marker.
Yeah, so while we got to play the game a couple weeks back, I noticed that my co-host has a different character that had like weapons different than mine. Mine was more of like the gloves, right? So, is this like for those that haven't had a chance to play the game? Is it where you create your own class, or is it you select the class the beginning of the
The
early
latter.
access?
We define the weapon types as classes, and so players can select from one of 4 different classes, and that'll define the weapon. So you've got Pyroclast, which is the War Club. You've got the Sentinel, which is Sword and Shield. You've got the Shadow Striker, which are the daggers, and then you've got the Rock Breakers, which are the gauntlets that you saw. And over time, we'll be adding new classes, so that will mean more weapon types, more play styles. And the nice thing is you can change your class anytime you want while you're playing, except while you're in combat. We don't want you slowing down the group, messing around in your inventory. But it's pretty quick. You just go into the menu, you go to class, you select what you want to play, and it equips it, and you go.
Well, he's a great question for the number 1 and number 2 fans of the game. Which one is like your favorite class?
Oh, well, yeah. If you've watched any of our gameplay, I am Rock Breakers all day, every day.
And
But why is that?
all the way? I mean, who doesn't love spin to win? Spin to win, dude. You just push a button and you spin, and you kill everything.
I see that one. That one's pretty cool too. That one's pretty cool too.
Gauntlets for me are great. I love the up close and personal nature of it all. I enjoy. There's just so many great moves with gauntlets, and the animations are great. I mean, it's just fun. It's fun to play and it's fun to watch. And there's elbow drops and flying kicks and things like this. Moves that are inspired from the real world, kind of world of wrestling. And sometimes, like, my husband and I will be playing and we just make up our own rules. Like, okay, this level for this mission, only do elbow drops. And like, how can we be successful doing that? It's just kind of fun. Like, you can do your own thing.
Yeah, but I really, really enjoy the animation, the look of the game, and also the music. Now, who worked on the soundtrack? Because man, the music is really, really cool. Even exactly when you start the game, early access, it felt like it didn't sound repetitive. It was like it felt like it was changing the whole time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Austin Wintory is back. Austin is an award-winning composer. Did all of the music for Banner Saga. He's known for Journey, other games. So he's here again with us for Towerborne. And yes, the soundtrack is fantastic. I had the privilege of sitting for 3 days listening to it all get recorded at the Warner Brothers studio. And that was amazing. And yeah, even with the start screen, it is beautiful and gorgeous. And we have a dynamic music system in the game. So as you're playing through missions, there are so many, I don't even remember the count of the number of themes that were recorded, but as different things change during the mission, building up to